Could we see Ahsoka in the new live-action series being developed by Jon Favreau? I believe the new live-action series is Ahsoka's best chance to finally be fitting into a live-action role. But before we get to that, I want to say I'm Mike, and welcome back to Force Within TV, where we're building a Star Wars animation community, and we'd love you to join us by subscribing. But back to that question, is this the best possible chance that we will get Ahsoka in a live-action role? Absolutely. Now the live action series and a possible Sabine and Ahsoka animation series are very close together. You see, Jon Favreau was misquoted Friday saying that his live action show takes place 7 years after the Battle of Endor, but it actually takes place 7 years after the Battle of Yavin. And the Star Wars Rebels epilogue takes place after the Galactic Civil War. Sabine actually says after the war. So that is 5 years after the Battle of Yavin. Of course, we don't know exactly when Ahsoka and Sabine set out on their journey, but clearly if Sabine and Ahsoka are going to be in a new animation series around this time, then there's a big possibility of some crossover between Jon Favreau's live action series and this possible second animation series. And as I mentioned yesterday during my extended discussion with Nick of the Official Boss channel, Dave and Jon seem pretty tight. Jon Favreau actually voiced a minor character in the Clone Wars, and from his interview at the red carpet of the Solo World premiere, you could really tell that Jon is a huge fan of the franchise. And quite often we've seen people who are really big fans of the franchise try and make connections from one type of medium to the other. But I also want to look at Ahsoka for a moment in the epilogue of Star Wars Rebels. Notice how she has that cloak and the staff, but the cloak, why does she have a cloak on? Dave Filoni refused to actually publish this. He usually publishes 3 renderings of the Star Wars Rebels and even Clone Wars era characters, but he said very specifically that he wasn't going to publish images of Ahsoka in that cloak. So there's definitely some mystery there, but what I think is that Ashley Eckstein may not have the perfect body to represent Ahsoka on the big screen, but if you put a cloak on her and the proper makeup, you could definitely sell her as Ahsoka. But is Dave Filoni really going to let Jon Favreau play with one of his favorite characters? Well, remember, Jon Favreau is actually writing this series. He's probably going to direct some of the TV series, but other directors will be brought in, and Dave Filoni might be one of those directors. So wouldn't it be perfect to see Dave Filoni directing an episode of the new live-action show that includes a cameo or a small part including Ahsoka Tano? At the very least, we know that Dave Filoni loves giving us those connections. Look at all the Rogue One content we got in Star Wars Rebels. There's definitely going to be some crossover between this live action series in Star Wars Resistance and possibly this second Star Wars animation series that may or may not include Ahsoka and Sabine. You guys know me. I love speculating on this sort of thing. When it comes to Star Wars, the fun part is thinking what is coming and having a chat about that with you guys. So let me know in the comments below, do you think there's a chance that Ahsoka may show up in the live action series? Is she going to be played by Ashley Eckstein? Let me know in the comments below, and may the Force be with you.